Happy February 15th. Yes, it's already the 15th of February. What are we talking about today? We're talking about this push-pull that's been going on energetically for many of us and the ability to be the observer of that. So when you realize you're not the one speaking, you're not the one thinking, you're the one observing that energy cannot be created or destroyed, and you are an energy being. Your spark, your soul ignites the spark within this vessel, this body, for it to come to life, to animate. You are a human, so you are light. You are plasma. Your chakras are your energy. You are reflecting your reality. So if you would like to discuss this, let's roll it back a little bit. So being the observer and being able to be still and not insert yourself or create energy down a timeline, for thoughts are just thoughts until you grab that thought and then you start ruminating about it to manifest it. So when we say to let go, we're being quite say, oh, interesting, that's happening right now. That's the observer position. Oh, interesting, that's happening right now. Because it's often not until later after the fact that we actually get to know why something happened. And maybe we don't get to know at all. It's being really comfortable in the unknown. I had something going on with my lower back. Energetically, we'd worked on it, but it didn't, and it was quite interesting what was coming through as a visual, but it didn't resolve it. I'd done stretching, I'd gone to acupressure, and I found this fellow who's an osteopath through a friend of mine. Thank you for that. And in 2 visits, he told me what was going on. So my lower back pain was actually muscular. And what was it from? It was from here underneath my rib cage. And those muscles were not firing the same way. Could be from years and years of snowboarding, standing sideways. When I asked him, I'm like, well, what triggers that? And he's like, that you could dig on that one forever. We just don't know, but we've resolved it. We know what it is. And he gave me some exercises to do at home. And I find it quite profound, because if I'd gone to the doctor, it would have been months and maybe never even discovered, right? I knew it wasn't I knew it wasn't bone. I knew it wasn't organs. Even though your adrenals and your kidneys are back in there, it was a different kind of ache. And so I've also fractured my pubic and pelvic. I've also activated my coccyx snowboarding. So I've had quite a lot going on there. And then, of course, I have a child. So there's a lot energetically that happens in that womb space, so to speak, and at the base of your spine and your root chakra. And so he did it from this muscular, and he was muscle testing energy. So even though I do healing, even though I know many healers, I couldn't figure it out. So don't be shy to get some support when figuring things out. But it made me realize again, everything is energy. And we forget that. We forget that, even in the physical, it's still energy. But to have somebody that can connect with your body in such a way energetically, he does a little bit of cranial sacral as well, and had this ability to put his one hand on the base of my, on my coccyx, and his other hand at the base of my neck and my coccyx. The energies were doing infinity symbols. And he's like, can you feel that? And I'm like, yep. I said, we got a whole team here helping me. And so that went on for at least 2 minutes. So that was really interesting. And I could tell he was like, I don't know what's going on, but we're just going to go with this. So, and that brings me back to that push-pull, because sometimes you can't do anything. There's nothing you need to do, but just to be really quiet and just to observe and be kind to yourself and be loving to yourself. And I asked him, do you meditate? He said, no. I said, do you know you're meditating right now? Because he's got his eyes closed. So we have these really interesting conversations, but it's just so profound that everything is energy. And as we go through this process, sometimes doing nothing is the best thing you can do. always being kind and loving to yourself and getting to know yourself unconditionally, when that push-pull is going on, it also reminds me of like the ego, right? The ego wants to be safe. It wants to know it's okay. It doesn't want to do something new and scary. So whenever you're trying to push past limits, you've got to push-pull with your ego going on. So take about this, and the whole vessel's doing it, right? So, and DNAs are being activated like crazy right now. As above, so below. Like everything going on Earth, you think about the earthquakes, the tsunamis going on, the volcanoes erupting. That's happening within you as well. So you know, the more you are, just be really kind to yourself right now. Be careful of what you're consuming with your eyes, your ears, and your mouth. Be conscientious of it. And for goodness sakes, take a break from the show. That show going on over there. It's every time, even just watching it and being observant of it, you are giving your energy to it, which is propping it up and keeping it going. What would you like to see? How would you like to operate in this world? Write it down. I want to be a global citizen. I want to share communal space with many people in the fact that we all are co-owners in a very conscious way of many properties, a huge catamaran, like all these different ways of exploring to show there's a new way to operate in this world. We don't have to follow this old paradigm. Let's create a new one. Let's put our energy and focus there. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in your new Earth.